Good day, everyone. Welcome to our presentation, the Barcelona Traction Light and Power Company Limited, Belgium versus Spain topic. I am Mia and my partner Ronan. Proceeding in the case concerning Barcelona Traction Light and Power Company Limited, Belgium versus Spain. Facts of the case, the Barcelona Traction Light and Power Company Limited was incorporated in 1911 in Toronto, Canada, where it has its head office. For the purpose of creating and developing an electric power production and distribution system in Catalonia, Spain, it formed a number of subsidiary companies, of which had their registered offices in Canada and others in Spain. In 1936, the subsidiary company supplied a major part of Catalonia's electricity requirements. According to the Belgian government, some years after the First World War, Barcelona Traction share capital came to be very largely held by Belgian nationals, but his contention was denied by the Spanish government. Barcelona Tractions issued several series of bands, principally in sterling. The sterling's bands were serviced out of transfer to Barcelona Traction, effected by the subsidiary companies operating in Spain. In 1936, the servicing of Barcelona Traction's band was suspended on the account of the Spanish Civil War. After that war, the Spanish exchange control authorities refused to authorize the transfer of the foreign currency necessary for the resumption of the servicing of the sterling bands. Subsequently, when the Belgian government complained of this, the Spanish government stated that the transfer could not be authorized unless it were shown that the foreign currency was to be used to repay debts arising from the genuine importations of foreign capital into Spain, and that this had not been established. In 1948, three Spanish holders of recently acquired Barcelona Traction sterling bands petitioned to the Court of Rios, province of Tarragona, for a declaration adjudging the company bankrupt on account of failure to pay the interest on the bonds. On February 12, 1948, a judgment was given declaring the company bankrupt and ordering the seizure of the assets of Barcelona Traction and of the two of its subsidiary companies. Pursuant to this judgment, the principal management personnel of the two companies were dismissed and Spanish directors appointed. Shortly afterward, these measures were extended to the other subsidiary companies. New shares of the subsidiary companies were created, which were sold by public auctions in 1952 to a newly formed company, Fuerzas Eléctricas de Catalunya, which thereupon acquired complete control of the undertaking in Spain. Proceedings were brought without success in the Spanish courts by various companies or persons. According to the Spanish government, 2,736 orders were made in the case and 494 judgments given by lower and 37 by higher courts before it was submitted to the International Court of Justice. The court found that in 1948, Barcelona Traction, which had not received a judicial notice of the bankruptcy proceedings and was not represented before the Rios court, took no proceedings in the Spanish courts until June 18 and thus did not enter a plea of oppositions against the bankruptcy judgment within the time limit of 8 days from the date of publication of the judgment laid down in Spanish legislation. The Belgian government contends, however, that the notifications and publications did not comply with the relevant legal requirements and that the 8-day time limit never began to run. Representations were made to the Spanish government by the British, Canadian, United States, and Belgian governments as from 1948 to 1949. The interposition of the Canadian government ceased entirely in 1955. The Belgian government filed the first applications with the court against the Spanish government in 1958. In 1961, it gave notice of discontinuance of the proceedings with a view to negotiations between the representatives of the private interest concerned, and the case was removed from the court's general list. The negotiations having failed, the Belgian government on June 19, 1962 submitted to the court a new application. In 1963, the Spanish government raised 4 preliminary objections to this application. In its first preliminary objections, which was rejected, the respondent contended that this discontinuance precluded the applicant from bringing the present proceedings. The secondary preliminary objection was also rejected was regarding the lapse of Article 17, Paragraph 4 of the Treaty of 1927 on the dissolution of the Permanent Court to which the article referred, thus questioning the jurisdiction of the International Court of Justice over the case.